So Gen AI caught on a lot of organizations by surprise. But I feel as data practitioners, this felt all too familiar. This was just another wave. Good morning, everyone. Joseph Nadi here. I am the Chief AI and Technology Officer at Nadi. And for me, I wanted to reflect on the journey as a data practitioner. We started, I'm sure as many fellow data practitioners in the room, we started from a very simple world of structured data, data warehousing, BI, SQL, and we mastered that world. And then all of a sudden, we woke up one day and they told us everything changed. Big data is coming. Unstructured data needs to be stored in a very different way. And there's countless of these Apache projects, Hadoop, MapReduce, Kafka, Pip, and we had to learn all of these things to keep up. And we adapted. And then the next wave came, and we were asked to become data scientists overnight. Learn Python and R, because R was used by statisticians for a reason. And we again adapted. And again, we were told this changes everything. Then the Gen AI wave came. And again, this changes everything. But this time, a real question is, I'll stay here so that it works. I think the question for us now is this an AI feature, or is it truly AI native? Is it a real shift this time? Or it's just another set of tools we need to learn and adapt? And in the team in TAM, and I'm sure every organization now, in the UAE and around the world, we're asking ourselves, what is AI native? And what does that actually mean? Because throughout that journey I just mentioned, three themes always emerged. One of them is we asked ourselves, what are the skills required to keep up with this whole wave? Another one was technology providers, Microsoft, Oracle, Google, AWS, they came up with their own solution that they pushed on us. On one way, this always reduced the complexity. Like I always remember on the big data side, we had to run our own clusters of Hadoop, but then all of a sudden it became a service on the cloud. And the complexity was pushed to the technology provider as opposed to us. Third theme was, and that's what worked really well for us, was that we actually knew the data and we knew the business, and we could kept our eyes on the value delivered to the business, because that's how we always did it, from the BI time all the way to the Gen AI time. But now this puts it in a very different context. So what is the real value of bringing this as the AI native? And I'm going to talk about our experience in Abu Dhabi Camp. So for those who don't know Camp or don't live in Abu Dhabi Camp is the government services platform. So similar to Dubai now here, I would say is much more advanced, unbiased, where all the government services are in one place, but also all of the utilities, Itasalat, too, etc. So we had over 1,100 services. And we have maybe 70 providers. And it's a very regulated industry. You cannot really give a doctor license because the agent said so. Like, it's a very regulated environment. The outcomes are predefined and it's very regulated by government policies. So building a chatbot on top of existing 100-year-old workflows, still AI, but I call that AI decoration, not AI native. Another thing that's wrong, that might be a first step. We did it. We have a TEM AI assistant. You can renew your license on a TAM assistant, on a chatbot. But is this really AI native? And my answer would be no. AI native means the user doesn't need to know which service. The user should only declare intent. I am moving to Abu Dhabi. I don't need to look at the individual services I need. I don't know the individual services I need. I just need to declare the intent, and I need outcome. So that's the quantum leap in the experience we want to give to our end users. That's just an example from the government side. Sure, we could apply the same for bank. The user should just declare intent and get outcomes. And the AI should do the work. Now, in practice, when you look at it from our side, what does that mean? Because these 1100 services we're talking about are coded in systems. They are coded in an application sitting somewhere where the business tools are then. So how do you actually make it AI native? And this is the challenge we face every day at Tabu. And the approach we took, and I was saying that's a solution, saying the approach we took is you need to take a very different design choice. Sisters can no longer be application written in code. This logic needs to sit in a machine-readable, AI-friendly configuration format. We need to relook this business logic, these applications, into a mesh of services or a mesh of business logic that is just machine readable. And the AI can look at the 1100 services in one go, understand intent of the user, and delivers the right outcome. Obviously, safely, governed, etc. That's a massive, massive shift in the way we're not only looking at data and AI, but we're looking at systems and applications. And that's, in my opinion, will be the interesting choices organizations need to make in this coming year or so. Re-looking at their application landscape and making a choice between AI features and truly AI native. And I'll leave you with just 3 key lessons that we looked at in Abu Dhabi TAF. One of them, and like I said, these are from these learnings from this 20-year journey from the AI to agentic AI. One of them, I think we should rethink our talent strategy. From one side, yes, of course, we always looked at the skills we need to acquire to move on to the next wave. But I would argue this trap. We always looked for this specialized and skilled machine learning engineers, deep learning engineers. I would argue that this time, what you need is talented software engineers, which used to be a very commodity skill set. You have so many talented software engineers. And actually to transform into AI native, maybe that's bad news for us as data practitioners, but the reality is organizations need more and more software engineers, hardcore software engineers that understand, build intelligent applications and can use this AI as one more capability in their toolset. And then obviously there will always room for machine learning practitioners and AI practitioners and all that very specialized skills. You also, of course, need to run that AI platform to assemble the LLMs and all that. Perfect. But it is an opportunity because that is a commodity skill set that you can actually get. There are so many talented software engineers. So rethinking our talent strategy is a lesson what we want. I always advise my team, just ignore the noise coming from the tech industry. I come from tech industry myself. I spent most of my career between two of the largest big tech companies, Microsoft and Oracle, and I sold many projects. I had an ex-client here. I sold many projects. I sold many software over my years of experience. But I can tell you why, obviously, yes, they will take a lot of the complexity out of the equation. We'll just get these AI capabilities as a service. But we have to pay special attention to their motivation is about monetizing this new technology. Our motivation is to provide value to our business. So sometimes these two things don't really match, and they will push them a specific agenda about agents everywhere. You need 100 use case. But the reality is, maybe some of it is hype, maybe some of it is very related to what this specific technology provider wants to sell. So you have to ignore the noise and, more importantly, focus on the value. If there's one thing that kept us adapting to one wave after the other and always proving that the data practitioners understood the big picture and understood what actually the business need, is proving the mapping. And I always say this, like, you really don't need 100 legitimate AML use case. You shouldn't, obviously, yes, but it's not about the quantity this time. We shouldn't brag about, we've done 100 workshops with the business, we came up with 100 use cases, and I have a pipeline of all of these. I would argue just focus on one, maybe two, that actually moves the needle for your CFO, for your CEO, for your shareholders, in my case, for the citizens and residents. Just one, but just two. Because this time it's not about adding an AI capability. This time is about really changing the game. So focus on value and remember, this is a choice organizations need to make. Data practitioners are at the forefront of this. So I invite you to make sure your organizations are making the right design choice and thinking AI native and not AI features. Thank you very much.